Hi, everybody, and welcome to your lovely weekly office with me, medium Marisa Liza Pell, intuitive transformational coach and guide. How are you guys all doing? Let me know if this music in the background is too loud. Stephanie, Miss Lady, how are you? I actually just sent you a little email for your manifesting with Marissa, your define your dream win. You won the challenge. And we are doing the VIP implementation day very soon. So I invited you to our private channel to let us know what dates are good for you, Stephanie. So don't forget to come in there and let us know when you're available. Hi, Christina. Hi, Shara. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you guys. I just talked to Lisa recently, and I hope that all of our insight paid off, Lisa. I hope everything went well for you this week, and I hope you felt better. Absolutely. Let's say Shara is telling me I'm freezing yes, Stephanie, you don't want to miss that because that's your prize. So you don't want to miss that because you are one of our founding members of Manifesting with Marissa, which, by the way, we are coming into high manifestation time. So I'm hoping that some of you who didn't take the Manifesting with Marissa course before, we are opening it. And I'm going to be having intuitive development courses coming up in the fall. So there's a lot coming up to get involved with. And we'd love to have you in our community to start getting your dreams and goals off the ground with me and our wonderful community that we've built, and also get your intuition rolling, because those two things are intertwined. So Shara is saying that the feed is freezing. Is everybody else seeing me okay? I hope so. Deb Lamata, good to see you here too. Lisa Lewis, another one of our founding members, is here. Stephanie Shander, how you doing, Stephanie? Good to see you. Yes, a lot of people are saying they'd love to take the intuitive course. We are starting off from the beginning, and it's going to be just a basics 101 foundational course. And if you guys are interested in taking your training to the next level and taking our series 1, 2, and 3, you can always jump on those. It just depends on how far you want to take your intuitive development training. You can do it for yourself to just use it in your life and your business and your relationships, or you could decide to do it professionally. It doesn't matter how far you want to take it, but everybody has that ability. Everybody has it inside of them. It's just really fine tuning what your own strength is. A lot of people come into the intuitive development courses. They're like, oh, I want to be a medium, or I want to be a medical intuitive. It's like, no. We're going to take your strengths and whatever you have that is your God-given talent, we're going to find it, and then we're going to sharpen it like a pencil. So you can't like pick and choose. It's not the buffet. You're not like, hey, I want to be this or be that. It's kind of like your natural intuitive talent will come up once you do some of the exercises, and then you'll know kind of where you're at. Laura, thank you so much. I am in my au naturel mode today. No makeup, just kind of in my white t-shirt. But thanks for saying I look great. That's a nice compliment. So I see a lot of you are on today. I'm very happy to see everybody. And I want to just tell you that we're moving into a very strong, so this is the weekly energy forecast. For those of you that are new, I do these usually once a week, unless I had a little nasty cold for like 10 days. So I couldn't get out one for about a 2-week period. And then I went away for a few days because mediums need to revive themselves. I think I need a month off, really, after all this, after the pandemic, after all that's going on. By the way, a lot of people are asking, about what's going on in the world. And I can tell you that If you haven't received my monthly energy forecast, the link is in the description of this video. I send it out on the 15th of every month. You will not see it live. You can't search it up. You have to be on the email list to receive it. And you will get every single day of the month, or every couple days, but every week you're going to get my insights on how to prepare for that month. So I had talked about a lot of confusion coming up in September with the media, with what's being put out there to us about what's going on with the pandemic, the schools, the vaccines. Everything is going to be so up in the air that every day things are probably going to change. So I think by December, though, we should be more on a consistent level with the messages that are being put out there. But I do think we're in for a rocky September. I hate to tell you guys that, but I really do. So if you don't want to be confused, I wouldn't check the news every day. I would just stay in tune with your own intuition, your own guidance, and I would just follow that. Obviously, there's things to tune in about if there's big announcements or whatever, but I really think even the big ones are going to be changing. So that's really important. But for now, we're going to focus on this next week coming up, right? So we're in a period of such transition, going from the summer months going into the fall. Most people don't realize that in times of transitions, especially seasonally, especially from the summer to the fall, there is about a week lag time, which is where we're at now, where there is a grieving process, there's a letting go process, and it's a very difficult time for people to feel like they're in the routine. It's a time of high anxiety. It's a time where our intuition gets all scattered. And most people just barrel through this time of transition. And what happens is, if you don't process your grieving or letting go, or the things that are coming up in the middle of these transitions, they compile and compound on themselves and then become anxiety down the road. So you're like, why am I having so much anxiety? Why am I having so much grief? Why am I having so much turmoil and scatteredness in my mind? It's because these periods of transition, which are periods where we are in between. So let's say you are moving home, moving your house or whatever. If you don't grieve that transition, a lot of times it's such a quick transition where you're packing, you're moving, you got the moving truck, you closing on documents, all that kind of stuff, that you're not grieving. Even if you're going to a better place, you still need to process that transition of moving and grieving the old and welcoming in the new. A lot of people do not process transitions. They barrel through them. So right now we're in that transitional point. We also today, moon's in Aries. Okay. So the morning time may have been a period of being a little impatient, or people getting on your nerves, or just feeling like, a little bit restless. Because the energy is wanting you to move and you can't move fast enough. And you want to have that space of mind to be able to move forward, but yet you don't feel like you're clear enough to be able to get all the things you want done. So it could be that you're a little impatient, you're a little frustrated. So I want to look into the next week right now. So we're looking at the 26th and 27th. We're still in that transitional period. The 31st is really when that energy breaks, and when things are kind of go boo. We're in the new energy. We're out of the transitional element. We're out of the lag time. This weekend though will be a good weekend. I talked about Labor Day weekend not being the best weekend to always celebrate your Labor Day holiday the weekend before, because the energies are much better on that day. So Michael is asking, is this a good time to move? Well, Michael, that all depends on your chart, your astrological chart. It all depends on where you move. It's really like there's so many elements that goes into, is it a good time to move? Because we want to look at the energies of where you are, where you're coming from, where you're going, what your motivations are for moving. The geographical location, is that good for you? It's, when you're talking about relocation, when you're talking about moving, Is it a good time just in general? Not this week. This week is a tough time. I want to check something out for you, Michael, just in general, but it's really not a cookie cutter answer on is this a good time to move, because this is something you want to really look at the energies of everything you're leaving, everything you're going toward. I'm looking up something real quick. You got to look at a lot of things with moving. So let me just check something out. Michael, I guess my question to you is, do you have somewhere to go? Do you already have okay. We're not really in a pre-shadow of a retrograde or anything, so that's good. I would just wait probably till like the first, like at least solid week of September for this transitional energy to kind of move forward. But as of the 31st, that transitional energy is kind of going on the upswing. So that, I hope that answers your question, but like there's a lot of elements. So like, do you already have the place that you want to move to? Did you already? Okay, October, Michael, not a good time. That's a retrograde. So there's a lot of things that you might, this is a good time. You're like a good example of somebody that could use some intuitive insight at the time, because you have to look at a lot of different elements. Now, I don't say, okay, Michael, come to me for a session. You don't need to come to me, but you could consult an astrologer. You could consult any other intuitive, but you have to kind of look at a lot of different elements. No, October is not a good time in general. But let's say that you have the house picked out right now and you're already closed on it and you're moving in October and you're like settling in October. That's a different story. So there's a lot of elements to consider. Stephanie, you've been going through a lot of nonsense at work all month long. The superiors are inflexible, and I've been and so much happening outside of work. I am somewhat unclear on my career path right now. Well, you're in luck, Stephanie, because you just, when you did the Define Your Dream Challenge, you won the course, the VIP Implementation Day, which we're having in the next couple of weeks. And so this is going to give you all that insight that you need to prepare for that. Of course, you can get intuitive insight. You can have a session, but you're going to be able to have that planning and that strategy from our Manifesting with Marisa VIP sessions. So you won that. And I mean, it's like the best time for you. So make sure that you come on that Slack channel. Make sure you're getting on that day. How about selling? Is it a good time to sell my family's PA house running into roadblocks? Again, Lori, if you listen to what I said about Michael, there is so much at stake here. There's, you're dealing with family dynamics. You're dealing with, if you have spirits in your home that don't want the house to sell, these are things you want to call me about, or you want to talk in depth about. This isn't like a one and done type of situation where you can say, how about selling? Just in general, though, if you're looking to sell, you don't want to go. You don't want to list September 27th. Let me look at the actual dates. You want to list now if you're going to sell, because but then you don't want to accept a contract after September 15th. So it's a really fine line. But if you want to sell and have a chance, if you know it's going to sell quickly, or you think it's going to sell slowly, depending on what you want for it, what the market is, this is something that requires intuitive planning too. But I would say in general, just to not accept any offers or contracts beyond September 15th. So you have a very short window of time. Then you're looking into November, going into the winter time. So I would either do it today or wait till November 15th. But again, something you might want to talk to an astrologer about as far as timing goes, but also there's a lot of intuitive things that you might need to consider here. Stephanie, how do you access you're already on the Slack channel for the Manifesting with Marisa course, Stephanie, right? So you're on that. Do you get the notifications on that? And then I just invited you. So on your dashboard, you'll see that you have a little private channel that's called VIP implementation. And if you need help with that, just send me an email at info@connectionbeyond.com, or shoot me a message on the Slack channel. Hopefully you're getting into the Slack channel in general for the Dream Driver course. All right. So I hope you guys are doing well. I want to hear from everybody. How is everybody doing? Please let me know how everybody's doing. See, this is what I was talking about with the current energies. Everybody wants to get into action, right? Everybody's like thinking of buying, selling, taking the action. What I'm telling you is that these next 5 days are a time of reflection, a time to plan. So these are the times to have your planning calls, have your strategy calls before you take the action. It's not a good action time because these transitional weeks could be very emotional weeks where you don't want to be making decisions where you make a mistake. So I would say that if you're thinking of doing something important as a move, whether that's buying or selling, you take the time to plan that very, very carefully, because if you're thinking of doing it now, it's or in September and October, there's so many different retrogrades and things going on that you could have a lot of delays and speed bumps. So yeah. So Christina, you've been feeling restless over the past few days. I actually just spoke about that in the beginning. So if you make sure once this is off of live, you go back to the beginning and listen to that, you will probably feel this way. And I always tell people, don't distract yourself by getting into action because you feel unsettled or you feel like, you have tough feelings coming up. This is what these times of transitions are for. So if you use this time to just distract yourself with tasks, you're going to be missing out on the transitional element of what you need to release and renew before you go into the next season. So I would say allow yourself to sit in it, be uncomfortable, release it so that it doesn't compound when you finally start with your fall plans and turns into anxiety. Lori, finding yourself avoiding friends, love them, but they are draining, feel bad about being antisocial. You're just going into a period of reflection, and that's okay. I think by the second or third week of September, Lori, I think you're going to find yourself moving out of that energy. I feel good about that. Just for you, that's just my intuitive feeling on that. It has nothing to do with retrogrades or anything like that, but I feel that that's very possible for you. So just guys, hold tight. And for those of you that watch the lounge, I wanted to let you know that we're taking 2 weeks off because we're planning the fall calendar and we're changing the show around just a little bit. And so we're taking that time. I'm taking this time to implement that, which is what you guys should be doing too. And if you like certain things about the lounge, if you want to see more music, or you like having a co-host, or you like having lounge buddies, and you like having all of that energy, or you just like having the real in-depth interviews, please let me know what you like to see, what you'd like to see moving forward, and what types of guests you'd like to see on. Please put it in the comments. I'd love to have your feedback because we will be planning the fall schedule moving ahead. So I'm looking forward to it. And be aware, like I said, Manifesting with Marisa is going to be opening again. And a great compliment to use if you do the basic intuitive development course that's coming out soon. A great complement to that is the Manifesting with Marisa course, because you interweave your intuitive development and your heightened energy to be able to manifest what you want to manifest in the future. So it's all good. It's about learning. It's about developing. It's about moving forward. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys very soon. Like I said, there'll be no lounge this Friday because we are reformatting the show. And I'd love to hear your feedback on what you'd like to see on the lounge and what types of things you'd like to learn and hear about. And I will see you next week on The Office. And I hope you guys just listen to me and allow that restlessness to just sit with it, let it move through you, and take care of yourself rather than getting into action before the 31st of the month. Okay. Let it just move through you. And the people that are having all these big decisions to make, planning, strategy, mentorship. Okay. You'd be better as a team with somebody else than you would alone making these big decisions. So good time for an astrology session, an intuitive session, a coaching session. I don't do astrology sessions, but I know people that do. And I'm sure you can find one. It's good for you. And just recalibrating the body and planning and strategy, very important. All right. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and I'll be talking to you very soon. And of course, if I find a pizza place to review, I don't know if a lot of you guys know about this, but I am doing a new series called Energetically Correct, where it's just for entertainment purposes. I go and I review things, and it's mediumship after hours, and I just go and make people laugh. So and review restaurants and run around and give people at Burger King that are being abused by people going in the drive-thru, giving them little gift baskets, just making people stay, that kind of thing. So Stephanie, yes, you say you love an intuitive session. Just email us at info@connectionbeyond.com. We are running off of a virtual wait list. And what that means, and those are our 35-minute sessions. So that means that since there's so many people on the wait list, we were just taking too much time asking people if they were ready for their appointment. Since we did it, we were, going off of who was first and who was 50. And people wouldn't get back to us, and it would just be going back and forth, this date and that date. So now, if you're on the virtual wait list, it's pretty much automated. So every time I have an opening, reschedule, or cancellation, everyone on the list gets the scheduler at the same time. We email them out. It's first come, first serve. I believe if you're meant to get an appointment, you will that day. Sometimes they come out once a week. Sometimes they come out once every 3 weeks. But if you see that email, you go right to the scheduler, you take the appointment. That's it. So you don't have to wait till someone else in front of you has their appointment. Everybody on the list has the same opportunity, whether they got on 2 years ago or whether they got on now. I am doing also 60-minute Zoom sessions. Those are more for people looking to do transformational stuff. So any big decisions that you need insight on, planning strategy. Also, I'm seeing a limited amount of people in person for both intuitive and Connection Beyond sessions in my Scranton, PA location. It's outdoors, and I'm not in New Jersey anymore, for those of you who are wondering. I also have intuitive and transformational coaching packages for those of you who want to work with me on bigger decisions like relationships or business stuff that might take about a month. So those are monthly packages where you get access to me every single day for a month to help to move you from one place to your goal. So we have a lot of things that if you need me, I'm here. And like I said, we can schedule you for any of those sessions. Anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.